Yo, Galzo,
Yeah?
Scarlett just uploaded a video about you.
What does she want?
She says we're not playing Gimmick Puppet anymore.
I'll check it out.
My deck list doesn't actually change really, but it is also a bit of a response video to my good friend Galzo. Now, Galzo is a very good branded play. One is Israeli Nets, as well as
If you want 5% off any single or sealed product, head over to tier0games.com and use code GALZO5 at checkout. Today we're back with another branded update, and this is a very experimental deck list that combines a lot of things that I've learned recently about the new format and how you should probably, maybe up to you, play branded. And before we begin, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, but also check the video that has some of the combos that are lined up here. I'll remind you throughout the video and I'll also add a link, but you'll need that to gain some context. And there are some points that Scarlett made that I think I can contest to some degree. I think overall her list is actually really good. I think it's one of the right ways to play branded in this format. It's still very young. The format hasn't really evolved or shaped. There hasn't even been like a single tournament yet. But I wanted to test out one way that you could play branded. So we'll talk about it throughout the deck list. And of course, check out the video regarding the Nadir combo that I made a few days ago or yesterday. I don't even know when everything is getting posted. But let's dive into the deck list. And we're playing 3 Albaz because 3 Albaz is really good still, regardless of Kostura, mainly because of Quem. You don't want to run out. And I think 3 is borderline mandatory at this point. I'm playing 3 Aluber, 2 Cartesia, and I'm playing 1 Quem. Scarlett plays 2 Quem, which in my opinion is kind of rough. I think it came up in one of the top Philly lists of some guy who played 2 Quem, and he said that it really sucks, drawing multiple normal summons. You'll draw a Quem and a Luber and Albaz in no real way of getting to a special summon. And even though you can summon this off of Granguignol and you want this for more than one turn, it's mostly effective on turn 1. And this is why I don't think you want to brick on 2 Quems. I am playing the Lubellion and Serenir. I honestly played a lot without them because I really wanted to cut them. I think they're still really good. This deck profile is 43, which is not 100% ideal, but it still works because it's branded. Now I'm playing Kit. I kind of came back to this because of cards that I'm playing in the extra deck and things that I want to test out. So Kit in this version is fine. It's actually really good, and it leads you to one of the combos where you don't lose to Ash with Nadir Servant. It's kind of an old school combo of that. Playing 1 Albion, 1 Tragedy, and 1 Mercurier. I'm also playing 1 Gimmick Puppet Nightmare because I think, as Scarlett said, you don't want to lose to a single interruption while you're building your board around Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. I think that this is definitely not mandatory. I did want to put out a list with Gimmick Puppet Nightmare because of a new combo that I made with Dogmatica Maximus and a Deer Servant, which I think is really cool. It's a really cool way of not losing to Ash. I think if you have access to it and you can back it up with 2 negates, right? Because the combo that I posted has Gimmick Puppet Nightmare plus 2 negates. It doesn't lose to Bestials, and I don't even think Bestials are going to be that good in this format or even played that much. I think Runic Sprite and Kostura are still going to be the best decks. I think you can play this. If you're going to a competitive event and you want to win, there's a combo that does this consistently, and with the Nadir Servant, it does it even better through Ash. So this is my take on it. It's definitely not mandatory. A few other things that Scarlett didn't play is Ogre, Droll, and Santa Claus. I'm not sure what you're playing Kaijus again, to be honest. I think, again, you need to keep in mind, it's maybe Kostura, but mostly Runic Sprite. You need to know how to play against Runic. I don't think Kaijus really help with that. Droll is okay, and Ogre is fine. I think maybe a suit of Imperm, Ash, and Bell, if you are playing hand traps, is really good. But I went for a board breaker approach with this build, and you're going to see that in a second, because I think board breakers are honestly back in this format, which is good for branded. 3 fusion, 3 opening, and 3 deployment. Scarlett played 2. You could play 2, I suppose, if you want to cut down on cards, but overall, you want to see this because this leads to the best boards. So you do want to see Cartesia. This is why I'm playing 2. 1 lost, 1 in red, and 1 branded in high spirits, which again ties to the kit combo with Nadir Servant that you really want to play as an extension. This card gets you to every card in the deck, and it's almost always live, so why not play it? I'm back on Nadir. I'm not playing crossouts for this build because of the combo that I came up with Maximus. You want to see that, check it out in the link. And I think it's fine. I think it provides good extension, good value, and it pluses you. Of course, it plays around Ash, giving you an actual board to fight with, you know? So 3 Nadir, 3 Dark Ruler, 2 Lightning Storm, and then these are the spells and some of the board breakers that we're playing. I think, again, keep in mind, always, Runic, Sprite, Kostra. This is what you're going to be playing against this format. Also Labyrinth, of course, which, you know, does lose to these kind of things. And then 1 Foolish, 1 Call by the Grave, 3 Evenly Matched, and Retribution. Again, you can take out all of these board breakers, put in hand traps. I think Ash and Bell are solid in this format for sure. Maybe Nibiru even, I'm playing it in the side. But this is more of an, again, experimental build that I kind of want to test out. And I think it's an interesting approach to probably play some board breakers. Extra deck, 2 Albion and 2 Mirror Jade, kind of standard at this point. Albion, just an incredibly good card. Brigand allows you to extend after getting ashed with Nadir Servant. Again, check it out in the previous video. And then Titaniclad, Rinbrum, and Sprint. This is like a really cool suit of monsters that are just really good to dump off. And because we're playing Maximus, then we're just dumping off a lot of cards from our extra deck, so we want to get value. 1 Granguignol, 1 Stapelia, 1 Chimera, 1 Lubellion, 1 Creatus. And then for the Nadir combo, we're playing 1 Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus II. Again, if you want to know why, check out the combo video. And then 1 Lulu. I'm back on Lulu, I think specifically because of Nadir. If you play Nadir, I think Lulu is really good with that. And I think it's, again, not a card you summon often, but if you are playing Nadir Servant, then this is definitely one of the best dumps off Nadir. So this is why I'm back on it. And again, no cross out. So we're testing out different theories. And again, try not to roast in the comments. I know that some lines lose to some lines or certain hand traps. But again, I've shown the combo where you end on Gimmick Puppet plus 2 negate. So I don't think anybody can come and say that it loses to a Bestial or it loses to a Bell, because factually that's incorrect. Then in the side, we're playing 1 Invader of Darkness. Because you can get this pretty consistently, you put this up against Runic, you win the game. And then same thing for Jinzo against trap decks. You put this, you win the game. And then our side is actually pretty similar. Playing 3 Cosmic, I'm playing 2 Magna and 1 Druze. The reason I'm playing the Druze is that I'm kind of scared of the Scareclaw Link 3. And this is one of the best outs to it. So you could play 3 Magnamuts. I guess that's fine as well. And then 3 Nibiru. And 3, there can be only 1. This deck is kind of going first heavy, so maybe you switch this up for Super Bollies if you want to cut out certain engines and stuff like that. I think overall, that will be definitely fine. Some things to address, again, this is an experimental build. It's testing one direction that you can take Branded in. Another thing that Scarlon played is the Dark Magician and Dragoon package. I think is super solid against Runic. If you put up a Dragoon against Runic, you most of the time win the game. So I think that's definitely valid. And then Ad Libitum, which I'm not playing. Again, you can cut out certain engines. If you don't want to play the Maximus build, you can cut this out, put in Ad Libitum. It makes perfect sense. And then I'm not playing Goldsark because Goldsark has a really good utility with Mercurier. But if you're only playing 1, the chances are that you can draw it and Mercurier, you know, could happen. And then your Goldsuck really doesn't do anything because with Expulsion, you can banish Gimmick Puppet, and that's super impactful. But in this build, I'm not playing it. And yeah, this is the build. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this, Carlin. The ball's in your court. And I think that overall, this is experimental because the format hasn't really evolved. But I think it's super fun, super cool approach, and utilizing Maximus to your advantage if it's outside the mirror match, I think is really good. Leave a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. I'll see you later. Peace.